I'm alive. Yay! Well, I'm 64, almost 65, and I'm still alive. So let me grab some coffee and go downstairs and let's talk about some of the things I think about now that I'm almost 65. Well, I'm up now. And I just wanted to talk to you about some of the things that I think about now that I'm in my mid 60s, and 60s is flying by faster uh, than I had hoped. And I was just curious about some of if turning 60 changed the way that you look at things. Because wow, has it ever changed the way that I look at things? Um, just a few things that I thought I would talk about today. I made a list. The number one, the first thing that I think changed when I turned 60 was thinking about my animals. Um, should I get another dog? My dog sleeping on the couch back there, my Shih Tzu, Sophie, is 14. And will I get another dog? Probably not. I don't want to go through the loss again of another dog and or worrying about what will happen to my dog should I pass away. So I got two cats, which will probably fly by here a few times, but I thought I'm almost 65, I'll be 65 in December, that these young cats might outlive me and hopefully I'll have a plan for them should I pass away. So far, I haven't come up with that plan. I don't think either of my adult children are the plan, but maybe my grandchildren, once they get older, will want two cats. But that's the first thing I think that I noticed I was thinking differently about. Thinking about the end of my life and, would I be here for another lifetime of another dog? It's hard to say. Another thing I think about is what will I look like in a few years? I think we go through a lot of our adulthood basically looking the same. I've got pretty good genes on both sides, my mom and dad. Uh, and my grandmother on my dad's side lived to be 96. He was very distinguished looking. Didn't really have a lot of wrinkles. But my great grandmother on my mother's side was just a wrinkly, she was really wrinkled. But I think we all think about looking in the mirror and seeing a really old person. Like, what's that going to be like? I remember when I was in college, when I took Death and Dying, or maybe it was Psychology of Aging. I don't remember, but in one of those classes, we were assigned an old person that we would get to know. And I got to know this woman, Stephanie was her name, and she had moved here from Austria during the war and had a very, very interesting life. But I remember her saying to me that she took down all of the pictures that she used to have in her house that were of her when she was young, because she hated people saying, "Oh, you were so beautiful." And she said she looked in the mirror now and didn't recognize the person, was always shocked when she looked in the mirror and saw this old lady looking back at her. And I wonder, will I feel like that? I mean, I've got certainly some signs of age, some sagging and stuff going on, but I haven't gotten to the really bad stuff yet. And I can't say I'm really looking forward to it. But another thing that I think about now that I'm in my mid 60s, who will take care of me? Should I become, um, handicapped or disabled or get dementia? Oh, I'm glad that doesn't run in my family, but that's no guarantee. But will I end up in a nursing home? Would either of my kids take care of me? I don't know. Would I want them to? Would I want to put them out like that? I certainly am, not wealthy and can't afford to pay someone to be here 24/7 to take care of me. So I guess I'm just hoping I'll pass away peacefully in my sleep. How about you? Do you have a plan for that? Um, Things we don't like to think. Like I said, I have two cats now, and they're young. But I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with how will I die? That's another thing I think about more and more. Uh, will I hopefully pass away peacefully in my sleep? Hopefully my cats won't eat me if that happens. We've all heard the horror stories, but uh, yeah, that's something I didn't really think a lot about before, but I certainly think about it now. And I think none of us wants to go the cancer route because we've all at this stage in our lives had people in our lives die of cancer. And I certainly know that that's suffering for months or years is certainly not the way anybody wants to go. But I do find myself thinking more and more about it at this point in my life. What else do I think about now that I'm in my, one interesting thing that I don't know if this is good or bad, and maybe it's a little bit morbid, but whenever I'm having something going on in my life that's an issue, a problem, a dilemma, I find myself thinking, when I'm on my deathbed or I'm laying in a nursing home, I'll look back on this problem and think, oh, I wish I was back there in that day with that problem that I thought was so horrible. That's kind of helped me to put things a little bit more in perspective. And I don't even know why I started thinking that way, but it just kind of came out of the blue one day. I was like, wow, uh, oh, I was probably upset over YouTube. YouTube is hard. It's really hard to get people to watch your videos. Let me tell you, if you can watch all those YouTubers out there that tell you, "Oh, do this, 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 and this," and you'll get people to watch your videos. No, it's hard. It's really hard. That's a whole nother video for me, though. What else do I think about? Now, let me look at my list. Worried. Oh, gosh, yes. I have a grandson I have three grandsons, but one of them needs me more than the other two. He's an only child, and there are troubles at home. And I actually had to interrupt this video because of a phone call from him. But so I knew I'd get emotional over this one, but I didn't know how emotional that I would have a phone call from him, at the beginning of this video because he was kind of having a crisis. But I find myself thinking, oh my God, I hope I can be here for him until he's old enough to take care of himself. Oh, I just hope and pray that. Um, do you have someone that really needs you in your life and you're afraid of uh, not making it long enough to be here for them? That's a tough one. It's really hard. Um, I just try to remain positive about it, and and just really believe that I will be here. My doctor says that my life expectancy should be around like 82 average. So I'm hoping she's right. That would get me to the point of seeing him, grow into his 20s. But what else do I think about? Oh, one thing I think about that's interesting is I don't really care if I'm cool anymore. I used to care about that. I used to go to concerts. I'd go to concerts with my son. I would follow the same bands he liked. Um, I just don't really care if I'm cool anymore. And I'm not cool anymore. I'm quite sure of it. I'm pretty happy to stay home with my cats. I'm looking at one right now, and my dog, and take walks and do yoga and meditate and do the things I love. And I no longer feel the need to try to be cool because I'm not. But let me know in the comments what kind of things, like when you turned 60, did it just completely change the way that you looked at things? Because it did for me. It was like overnight. I went from just thinking I was middle-aged to I turned 60 and immediately felt different about how old I was. Immediately kind of felt like an old person, not physically, but just mentally, like, oh, now I am viewed as old. Oh, one other thing that I definitely have started thinking about more now that I'm in my 60s is I've never traveled outside the United States, believe it or not. Um, I've been to Canada, I guess technically I have, but I've never gone to another country, never flown overseas, and I would still like to do that. So I hope that I remain healthy and active and mentally healthy so that I can take a trip abroad someday. And what country would I go to? Let me know where you would go. If you've never been to any other country and you had to pick one, you're only going to get to one. What would it be? I've thought about Scotland, but I've also thought about Sweden because that's my great grandparents on both sides were Swedish and came here from Sweden. So certainly that's somewhere I would be interested in going to. But I've always also really been interested in going to Egypt. Ancient Egyptian history fascinates me and always has. But those are just some of the things that I think about now that I'm 60 plus. Let me know in the comments how turning 60s changed your mindset. Do you feel like you're kind of in a rush to do the things that you haven't done yet that you want to do? I certainly feel that pressure, but maybe it's just me. So until I see you again, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.